Hello guys, Ashley here, Ultimate Italy fan. I'm back with another Cobra Kai rant, and today I'm going to talk about my reasons why, some of the things I don't like about Cobra Kai, the show. Don't get me wrong, it is a very, very great show. It definitely deserves that Rotten Tomato score on Google, a 94 Rotten Tomato score, because it did what a lot of other reboots and a lot of other remakes or continuations don't do, and that is bring characters back and know how to write it and do it and making sure the people who were involved in the project were also involved in this. But just because it is a good show don't mean it has its mishaps or like it's like what like or that could have been better. I wrote down 9 reasons, but I'm only gonna talk about the first 5. I do the other one in a part 2 video. So this will be a part 1 video of my first 5, the 5 things I don't like about Cobra Kai. Let's say that my top 5 things I don't like about it. So coming number 1, lack of character development. This to me is something that I have realized in like the show, that there are a lot of characters that stay on and they do a lot of nothing. Like Dimitri, what's his character development? We know who Dimitri is. We know he's neurotic. He's annoying. Um, he, him and Hawk have been friends for a long time. But to me, it really just seems like Dimitri never really changes. Like he kind of just stays like his neurotic self. Um, he's still very annoying. There are times when he's in the background, he's not doing much. Those are the times where I like him more, when he's not talking as much. I honestly felt like him getting all that screen time in season 2 was ridiculous. 2 and 3 was absolutely absurd, to the point that Aisha took like a back seat. Her too, she got like no screen time. Aisha got no development whatsoever to me, and I was looking forward to more with her. She got nothing. Sam really had no development. On some extent, Tori really didn't have some. Now I know people are gonna get mad about with the Tori thing, because actually, you know what? I take that back. Tori did have good development. I just feel like I wish there was more effort put into it. Like I would have loved to see her home life a little bit more. Outside of her working, like I would have loved to see like what is it like being home all the time and having to take that route of being like pretty much like a surrogate mother to her brother. Like I would have loved to see that a lot more. Like I feel like her home life was talked about more than it was shown, and like it was kind of weird to some extent that CPS never like got involved in that situation, because Tori is still in high school, and for her to take on that much responsibility, it kind of don't. It's not realistic that CPS wouldn't get involved, just a little bit. Let's see who else: Kenny, Anthony, Sam. Um, who else I'm thinking? I think there's somebody else. Someone's gonna tip my tongue. Um, Miguel really had no development, y'all. Like I know some of y'all gonna really hate me for saying it, but Miguel really didn't have no development. Like there are a lot of times when Miguel was just kind of like in the background and just like doing really a lot of nothing. Now every attempt to make him a great character, I didn't have a problem with. I just feel like it wasn't executed in the right way. Like his paralyzing situation storyline, I don't think that was written right. I don't think the stuff with his father, I think that was rushed. A lot of Miguel's storylines just feel very rushed and like undercooked to me. And that will also segue into my reason number 3 when I get to it. But to me, I feel like the big problem I have with the show is that it was a lot of like not a lot of strong character development. Like even to some extent, like there's not really a lot of strong character development. Like not really. Like when people say that Daniel had none, me personally, I disagree, because I feel like seeing Daniel from the very beginning of where he was compared to how he ended the show, I feel like that is character development. Compared to someone like Kenny, who he's there, but it's like, why is he still here in some extent? So I just feel like there was really like a lack of character development to go around. I just feel like they kept a lot of characters on who didn't need to be there. My reason number two on things I don't like about Cobra Kai is making Daniel the villain in every single situation. I've already elaborated on this and why I feel like he's overhated in Cobra Kai, so I'll try to keep this very short and sweet. I honestly feel like the writers, their intention was to make Daniel very, very villain into a villain, especially in the first season to me. And I didn't like it. I didn't appreciate it. I didn't like it. I didn't even understand it, like as if he didn't have valid reasons for not liking Cobra Kai or Johnny, for that matter. But I just feel like just because he has flaws and whatnot doesn't mean it should make him a villain or just completely unlikable, because there are a lot of people who have flaws in this show. How you overcome them is your problem. It's up to the writers at that point. Like, you think of someone like Sam. Sam takes no real accountability for her actions. It takes her way too long to take accountability. Unlike someone like Daniel, he was able to work with Johnny. Were there moments when him and Johnny bumped to heads, but at least to some extent they were able to get over that. Me personally, I just don't like the fact that they try to make him seem like the villain in every single situation. Especially in season one. Like, in season one, I think about it, season 4, episode 5, they tried to. What else? And like, yeah, specifically those moments to me is really, I didn't like either, like, the stuff with him and Amanda in season 5. Like, I just didn't understand how Amanda didn't know about any of this. Like, from the very beginning, like, she didn't know about any of the shit that Daniel went through with Johnny or Kreese or like Terry Silver. Like, there are a lot of people who say that she should have divorced him because he got so obsessive with them. And I would agree, he did become obsessive. Once, he didn't have a problem with Johnny coming back into his life. And there's a good video about that on YouTube in my playlist on the dude defending Daniel. Him reading a post that someone wrote and him defending the post. Because Daniel didn't have a problem with Johnny until Johnny opened up the Cobra Kai dojo. And Johnny did it for very selfish and bitter reasons. And as if people were acting like as if Daniel didn't have a reason for wanting to shut it down. As if he didn't have a reason for raising the rent. Yes, was raising the rent out of character? Absolutely. Because I don't think the old Daniel would have done that. I think the old Daniel would have wanted to talk it out, like like how you see in the first two Karate Kid movies. Whenever there was an issue, he tried to talk it out. Like with Chosen. When Chosen threatened him, he was like, "Oh, okay, like, let me talk to this guy. Let me see if I can leave him with him. Like, I don't have no issue with him, so like, what's his issue with me?" He tried to issue that with Johnny. He tried to understand what the fuck was Johnny's problem. And Cobra Kai, people act like as if he had no reason to be mad, or like he's a hater, or like, it's absurd to me. Why would he hate about Johnny opening up a dojo? No, if anything, he's fucking bitter and low-key kind of traumatized by the fact that the same guy who bullied him is about to open up a dojo and try to feed these kids bullshit just because he's angry and bitter. Very, very angry, bitter. Now, the whole there's no such thing as a bad student, there's no such thing as a bad student, only a bad teacher. I feel like that is a very contradictory statement, and I'll tell y'all why. Because I know Daniel doesn't know who Johnny is. They both don't know who they've never once sat down and tried to get to know each other. Daniel hates Johnny for the bullying, but I also think it was because of how John Kreese taught him karate. So it was really nice seeing, like, later on in the series, him and Daniel try to understand each other outside of that aspect. It would have been nice if Johnny would have at least apologized for the bullying. I don't think he ever once was like, "Hey man, I'm sorry for it. It was fucked up. It was shitty. I wasn't in the right headspace, yada yada yada." Because there are moments when him and Daniel are like chilling in the show. Like, they're actually like sitting down having a full-blown conversation with no bickering. And the show will find ways to revert back to the bickering. Like, it's really fucking annoying. Like, it drives me insane. But what I'm gonna say is, I don't appreciate how they try to make him into the villain as if like he don't have valid reasons for some of the shit that he do, and that's just on period. So Coming in number 3, lack of time in episodes. This issue, not my biggest reason, but one of my biggest reasons with the show. I feel like this show wastes so much time, especially in episodes with bullshit. Tara, like, just very, 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 very bad side plot sometimes. Like, 99.9 there would be a good side plot. 99.9 there would be a good side plot. But most of the time, it won't be one. And I feel like if you're going to show a really bad side plot, then can you at least add a little bit more episodes? Like, I don't understand it. Like, I just don't understand it. I feel like, even like when the show does go like 40 minutes in, or like an extra 30 minutes in, like sometimes the episodes just seem so wasteful. Like, you think of season 3. Think about how good season 3 for Cobra Kai could have been if they didn't waste so much time on so much bullshit and boring stuff. Like, honestly, to me, like, I honestly feel like the lack of time and the lack of episodes is what degresses certain people from having stronger character development, in my opinion. It's what degresses certain characters to just being glorified extras and being in the background. And I feel like if they would have had just decided, like, I don't know if that was like the thing that they all agreed on, like only 10 episodes each season, except for season 6. I feel like season 6 to 15 episodes is what they should have been doing in the beginning. You have a big giant cast. Why not expand more? I could understand in season 1 having 10 episodes, because season 1 the cast wasn't really that big. But to me, I feel like season 2 and onward, they should have had added more episodes, because they were adding new people in every season, and it was just like, oh, y'all gonna need some more episodes. To me, I feel like season 1 was a perfect season. I just would have loved if season 1 was longer. Like, I feel like season 1 deserved like at least 12 episodes. I feel like there was so much more they could have done. They could have done a lot more season 1. Not saying that it was like a bad season, but I think there was so much more they could have had extended if the season was longer. You get my drift. But like, it didn't make sense to me. Why only 10 episodes? Why only make the episodes 40 or 30 minutes? It's not like these actors are teenagers or like preteens. No, those kids are grown. So there should be no reason why they can't work around those adjustments, in my opinion. I think that's just always been like my biggest problem. Like, they're wasting 30 minutes of nothing on a boring episode. Like, what are we doing? It was just, it's annoying when you watch it. Coming number 4, the teen romance. The teen romance, I have 2 reasons for number 4, because I didn't want to add it in 5. So, the first thing I want to talk about in my reason number 4, the teen romance. The teen drama aspect of this show is very lame. Outside of who has beef with a person, the who is kissing who is getting with who's falling in love with who, that aspect of the teen stuff is very, very boring and very, very useless. I think it's useless. Now, I understand this is a teen show. You're gonna need people to date at some point. I get that. But not when there's like, for example, Sam and Miguel. Literally, Miguel, his entire character is about him being with Sam. And it's like, why? It's not like him and Sam have this gravitational, amazing love story. It's not like they have this amazing chemistry. There's nothing special about Miguel and Sam. So why are we wasting so much time with them about this relationship? Do y'all know there was a whole ass episode of season 5 about them breaking up? Like, are you fucking kidding me? Who cares that much? Why are we spending so much time on who's dating who? That got really annoying. Like, they were obsessed with shipping to the fact where it's like, you can't even keep count of who's dating who. Like, Dimitri's dating somebody, Hawk's dating someone, Moon, Miguel, Sam, Robbie, Tori, like all these kids keep hooking up, and it's like, who can keep track at this point? And it's like, why? It's not like any of these actors have outstanding chemistry with each other. I just hated it. I absolutely hated the whole shipping thing. I just didn't like it, especially when they don't have no chemistry. It's like, why are we so obsessed with this? It got annoying. My second reason, and we've been before. How fast the kids get karate. I feel like as the seasons went on, there was like less training montages, and like when there was training montages, it was crazy how fast they all got it. Like, do you know how long it took Daniel to learn the crane kick in Karate Kid 1984? Do you know how long it took him to learn all those moves? How to throw the perfect punch, how to throw the perfect kick, how to do the right strikes. And like Robbie can learn this, and yet he's a master in like the second episode. It's so unrealistic to me, because I know if I went to a real karate class, I know that I wouldn't be able to throw a hurricane kick in my second learning or in my first learning of it. It's ridiculous. I feel like, especially, they try to make you seem like they're learning it because of a training montage. Like, when Daniel first met Robbie, they started doing training. It was a whole montage of Robbie learning the training, but to me it still just seemed like crazy how fast he got it. Like, it was like crazy how fast he got it. Like, Miguel in the first season, it took him a long time to actually put the things that he learned into motion from Johnny. Like, I don't know, like, I feel like as the seasons went up, they started learning karate way too fast. Like, it was crazy how fast they all got it. When Tori came there, Tori was already a fucking black belt. It's like, damn, what the fuck did she even learn how to do? She already knows half these moves. It's like, what the fuck did she even learn how to do? Like, it was insane. Really, really insane. Like, how fast Dimitri got it. Like, honestly, if you really think about it, in season 2 in that school fight, Dimitri really should have not overcome Hawk when Hawk has had more training, and Dimitri literally in the episodes before the school episode, Dimitri was struggling to learn how to do moves in a group. Daniel was having them do like this training on how to work together and who can like do the strikes and stuff. Dimitri was literally struggling on how to counter someone's strikes, but yet he can beat Hawk. Like, it's kind of unrealistic how fast Dimitri got that. But whatever, I guess. It just bothers me how fast these kids get karate. It's like, what? They just learned it. How can they possibly be fucking black belts that fast? It's like goddamn black belt. It's crazy. Reason number 5. The show's obsession with John Kreese. I didn't get it. I don't understand why this show was so obsessed with John Kreese. It's like you never took a break. He was there all the time. Season 2, Season 3, Season 4, Season 5, Season 6. I understood why he was here, because they kept trying to make sure that we can get back to the John Kreese and Johnny thing and see how that can resolve. I just feel like I needed a break from John Kreese. I feel like I saw him too much. I don't think the actor was bad. I just feel like the way that he was written as a villain was really just half cooked. He wasn't bad. I mean, he was very charismatic. He was funny, don't get me wrong. I just feel like I need to see more depth from John Kreese. I think all he cared about was just karate and ruling the world with karate and taking over the world with karate, which is really absurd when you say it out loud. But I definitely like Terry Silver a lot more, because I feel like Terry Silver was just way more layered as a villain. I don't know with John Kreese. I think I feel like I just saw him too much. Like, I feel like when he got arrested in season 4, I feel like season 5 is when they didn't need to show him until like season 6. To me, I don't care. Like, that's what I'm talking about. That goes back to like the wasted time in episodes. Why are they showing him in prison? It's like, who cares that much? Like, why? They wasted a lot of stuff in season 3 with him, about him being in the military, and it's like, who cares? Who cares? Me personally, I just can't sit through war shit. Like, I feel like the war type movies, like military based type movies, are very boring. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to offend anyone who comes from that type of aspect of being on the battlefield. Me personally, when I watch a movie that's like focusing on that aspect, I get extremely uninterested. So yeah, that's just me. But yeah, I just feel like they were way too obsessed with John Kreese. Way too obsessed with him. I feel like I saw him way too fucking much. It got ridiculous. And I'm gonna do a bonus one for y'all. I'm gonna do number 6, making it into the Johnny Show. Now I know. Some of you hate me. Some of you say it is the Johnny Show, but you don't understand that that's the problem. That's the problem. I feel like y'all gonna hate me, but I'm gonna say it. I love Johnny. I love Johnny as much as the next person. Don't get me wrong. He's funny. He's entertaining. His story is very, very good. It's nice to see a character from the Karate Kid franchise get more focused. But them trying to switch the roles into making him like this good guy, like he did nothing wrong in the past, and make Daniel into like this rich snob, I never liked. I'll say in the first 2 seasons, I just didn't like how it was like so heavily focused on Johnny. I just felt like if this would be a character-based show, it would be nice to see a lot of other characters shine, in my opinion. And I feel like after like seasons 1 and 2, they decided to do a lot more with that. Especially in like seasons, I would say seasons 3 and like seasons like 3, 4, and 5. Johnny really didn't do much. Like he really didn't do much. I was finding other characters way more interesting in him, like Robbie, Tori, Daniel, Terry Silver. Like I was just finding those characters a lot more interesting because they had a lot more going on. I didn't care about Johnny being with Carmen. I didn't care about any of that. I was happy that Johnny did decide to, him and Robbie did decide to fix the relationship. But I still feel like the Johnny and Robbie relationship, I feel like it felt undercooked, in my opinion. Like, in that very moment, I understood why they had to do it. It just felt rushed, and that is one of the reasons on here that I have at the very in the part 2 episode I'm going to talk about. Part 2 video I'm going to talk about. I feel like Robbie coming there and just having like this different realization about who he has become just felt very rushed. Like, you were a villain this whole season, ready to take down Miyagi-Do and Eagle Fang, and now that just changes for you. You're sick of blaming other people. Like, I understood what they were doing. Don't get me wrong, it was a good scene. It just felt very rushed. I still feel like him and Robbie lack emotional moments one-on-one. Like, even though that their relationship is fixed, yet you barely see them talk about anything. You barely see them interact or do any of that. Like, his interactions are still going towards Miguel, even though the writers are telling us that him and Robbie's relationship is fine. Like, whole season 5 when him and Robbie were together, yeah, they had the Mexico episode, but after that, what else did you get with them? I think seasons 4, 5, and 6, they decided to focus less on the teens, which was a hooray for me. But, like, what did you see with that? I feel like you barely saw Johnny and Robbie have interactions. And then I love the scene in season 6 when he said karate has given him so much, it's giving him his father. I love that. Don't get me wrong, I love it. But in season 6, him and Robbie barely have any interactions. It just felt like it was stuff missing from that relationship. Like, when you was, like, you think about the Peyton and Ellie relationship in One Tree Hill. There was a lot more effort put into that than in Johnny and Robbie. And don't at me. A lot more effort put into that. The episodes that her and Ellie spent on trying to make the music and the DVDs, and when Ellie died, you actually felt something because there's another person in Peyton's life, another mother figure dying in her life unexpectedly. And not only that, Ellie had cancer, and Peyton didn't have enough time to spend with her anyway because she was dying. It was devastating. Absolutely devastating. But to me, I think there was a lot more effort put into that than in the Johnny and Robbie one. That's just me. I'm not sure everyone else feels that way. I don't hate the scenes that they do have that are like, that they have together, but I still feel like it was still undercooked. Because there were like full ass seasons where it's like, all these ton of ways that we can't see any Johnny or Robbie scenes. Like, he's still interacting with Miguel. It's like, I understand Miguel is like basically like his kid, but it's like it would be nice to see some of those moments go towards Robbie. But yeah, I just didn't like how they made it into the Johnny show in the first two seasons. It kind of got it got under my skin a lot because it just felt like, oh my gosh, characters are sitting in the background, not doing shit, and it got annoying. I understand that Johnny is the overall protagonist of the show. I get that. But just because you have a protagonist doesn't mean that other characters have to sit in the background. And there are plenty of shows where you can tell, like, okay, this is the main character, but a lot of other characters get a lot to do. One Tree Hill, The OC, Gossip Girl. There are a lot of characters who still do a lot of things, even though it's like essential characters. Pretty Little Liars. Like, are y'all catching my drift? I feel like the reason why is because of the limited 10 episodes, in my opinion. And I just feel like if they could go back and redo it, I would have added more episodes in each season. More episodes, better time, and better fluent storylines to give to these characters. I think that would have fixed everything. It would have made everything kind of less boring when you do watch those filler side plots, in my opinion. But anyway, that has been my video on the top 6 things that I just don't like about Cobra Kai. Don't get me wrong, it is absolutely one of my favorite shows that I have watched. Like I said, I am obsessed with the show. I watch it every day. I try not to, but it's like I get the urge to watch it, so I just put it on. But that has been my video. Let me know your comments down below, and I'll see you guys tomorrow with my part 2.